Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from HEJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today I want to comment on CBI, or Citizenship by Investment programs in general, and those in the Caribbean in particular. What do I mean by CBI programs? This would be different from so-called golden visa programs in that the CBI offer, in exchange for some sort of investment or donation, it offers a fast track towards citizenship, whereas the golden visa options offer residency and a longer journey towards eventual citizenship, if at all, because many of them do not offer citizenship as an option. But we're going to look at CBI programs. And the reason, and you may wonder, well, we deal with international tax, so where does CBI come in? It comes in because often there is a lot of confusion around the tax implications of getting a second citizenship. So we often, at least once a week, I kid you not, we get someone from, let's say, from the US coming to us and say, hey, one of the many brokers, and again, this is a completely unregulated space. There are lots of promoters online. One of the many promoters have approached me and they said that if I buy one of, or if I invest and I get a passport from one of these 5 countries, then I'll be able to escape US taxation. Of course, that is unfortunate disinformation. It really does not work that way. But I'm not going to get into how you can minimize your US tax by investing in a CBI program. Rather, I'm just going to give my wider perspective on them. Unfortunately, by having it so unregulated and by allowing any and everyone to offer your program for sale, it's create, let's say, a race to the bottom. Not in terms of fees, because the fees are what they are, but it offers a race to the bottom in the sense that the promoter who could make the most outlandish claim, who has the greater reach on whatever the social media platform may be. So as a result, here are the 3 things that we see going to be happening in this space. 1, an increased focus on program integrity. I mean, it's obviously happening already. The due diligence program has been enhanced. The source of funds analysis it's more rigorous than it has been historically. So the sort of individual who would bring disrepute to the program is turned away and won't be allowed to access the program. And I think that just makes sense given the concerns in a wider geopolitical space. Program integrity has to be strengthened, and it will continue to do so. And that leads to the second point, capitulating to international pressure. So it is no secret that the so-called, let's say the OECD or the wealthier nations, they do not like it. They're not a huge fan of CBI programs in general, and the Caribbean programs in particular. And pressure has been brought to bear. And to be fair, I don't think it would be too far-fetched to say that these programs have a finite shelf life. Yes, they may continue to strengthen the integrity of the program, but in the medium to long term, they will just cease to exist, at least in the present form, simply because the countries that matter, i.e. the OECD, they do not like it. So that leads to the third point, that the Caribbean jurisdictions that would begin to think through this process more strategically rather than continuing to make quick cash grabs, those are the ones who will come out shining on the other end. So the Caribbean has a history of what is termed a monoculture. They find one thing and they beat it to death until that one thing is no longer viable, and then they jump onto another bandwagon and they go with it. So, and I say that as a Caribbean passport holder myself, right? So at one point in time, it would have been, let's say it would have been sugar. Another point in time, it would have been bananas. At one point in time, it would have been tourism. Now, for many jurisdictions, they just replace that with CBI. Not understanding that the pathway to development lies in a completely integrated approach to revenue generation. You don't just have one golden goose. You have a series of revenue streams that work synergistically with each other. And I think the one jurisdiction that strikes me as forward thinking is Barbados. And no, I'm not a citizen of Barbados. My citizenship is on another nearby island. But Barbados seems to be thinking in an integrated and strategic fashion. They have a series of initiatives. They have financial incentives, and especially if you are exposed to Canada, There are structures that work well between Barbados and Canada. They have a great tourism product, not just for short term, but as a result of the global health issue we had some years ago, they have long stay products and in terms of physical accommodation, as well as visas that allow for long stays as well as certain tax benefits for those who they are on certain visa categories. In short, without getting into a full list of what they have available, Barbados stands as a model for strategic offshore development that doesn't come at the price of the reputational damage that we've seen some of the other neighboring jurisdictions who were named and unfortunately shamed. And again, in many cases, they probably didn't do anything wrong, but through association and not being able to police their program and to police their brand, they've come out on the wrong end of Paradise Paper, Panama Papers, Pandora's Papers, other leaks, and the reputational damage is arguably irretrievable. Barbados, however, has demonstrated an ability to manage the reputation and to manage the integrity of their integrated offerings. To the rest, take note. My name is Darren Joseph from HCJ.tax, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.